It's midnight. You're fast asleep. But your budgie is in a completely different world. Most people think budgies just sleep at night. You cover them up and that's it. Do you think that's true? No, it isn't. While you're sleeping inside, your parakeet is consciously doing certain things. These actions tell us a lot about it. You can even tell how stressed it is or how attached it is to you. Because all of these are signals, each sending you a message. Unfortunately, you don't understand them. If you can't read or understand these messages from your parakeet, you'll miss all the signals it's sending. But after watching this video, you'll be able to understand how your parakeet spends the night, what it needs, and what it's trying to tell you, everything. 1. Panic in the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m. A noise, sounds of something hitting the cage, flapping wings, total chaos. Like everyone else, you panic. You think something has gotten into the cage, or you think your parakeet is in trouble. But you're wrong. This is called night terror, and it happens to most parakeets, so it's quite common. Even if there's no danger in the cage at all, they can suddenly wake up out of nowhere and panic. Sometimes even the slightest vibration can trigger it, like a sound coming from outside. But it's not just that. Sometimes it can happen even when nothing is going on. A sudden awakening alone can be enough to cause it. But you should know this. It's not a disease. It's a survival instinct. Because inaction means death. That's why their brains operate on a fight or flight mode. So don't worry. Your bird did what it had to do. But the worst part is, these recurring fears can cause stress in your bird because sleep quality is compromised. Its delicate immune system weakens, and this leads to certain behaviors in your bird, like being shy or nervous. You can't understand why your bird acts this way during the day. Why is it so nervous? That's exactly why. If your parakeet also frequently experiences nighttime fears, it's likely due to things like too much nighttime light or sudden noises. Try moving the cage to a quiet spot. This will help soothe your bird, even if just a little. But there's something even quieter, even more secretive than nighttime fears. And this time, there's no danger. On the contrary, it's a wonderful feeling. While you're sleeping, your bird is making its most honest confession to you. 2. The secret of beak grinding. Your parakeet is sleeping, but you hear a sound, a soft grinding, as if it's chewing on something. Hearing this might make you worry. Did something happen? Is it sick? But it's neither. Veterinarians call this beak grinding. It's something the parakeet does intentionally and willingly, because when they do this, they feel relaxed. Gently rubbing its beak together shows that it's very happy and feels safe. So it's actually a good sign. It's like being in a safe mode, so to speak. It's about to drift into a deep sleep. Think of it this way. Just as taking a deep breath before bed is for you, that's exactly what a budgie's beak clicking is for it. Research shows that if you've recently adopted a budgie and you hear this beak clicking, it means your bird is starting to settle in. In other words, it sees its surroundings and home as safe. In a way, it's sending you a signal. What about when the bird stands on just one leg while sleeping? Most owners don't even notice this. Or they notice it but misinterpret it completely. 3. The meaning of sleeping on one leg. You look at your parakeet's cage and see it standing on one leg, with its feathers slightly ruffled and its eyes closed. What do you think? Did something happen to its leg? Or is it sick? Actually, it's normal to think that way. Because if you saw this in a person, those questions would come to mind. Naturally, when you see your bird like this, you think the same thing. Because you love it and care for it, this shows your concern. But let's look at the truth. Sleeping on one leg indicates deep sleep and a sense of security in parakeets. In other words, the bird is so comfortable and feels so safe that it tucks the other leg into its feathers. This is how it maintains its body temperature. In the wild, birds do this when they are away from danger. A veterinarian says, a bird sleeping on one leg is saying, "There's no danger here." You understand it better now, don't you? But we haven't touched on the subject of dreams at all, and that takes everything to a much deeper level. Because what your bird does at night directly affects how it bonds with you during the day. 4. Do parakeets dream? Your parakeet is making little sounds. You look at its beak. It's moving slightly. It seems to be reacting to something, but its eyes are completely closed. Most people just brush this off as perfectly normal, but this is a sign of something very significant. When you witness this, know that your bird is entering REM sleep. Published studies show that during sleep, birds replay the songs and sounds they learned during the day in their brains. In other words, their nervous system processes and repeats these. Because their brain isn't sleeping. This applies to parakeets as well. The lovely moments spent with you during the day might be playing out in that little friend's brain. In other words, these memories are being processed and stored, so that tiny brain isn't forgetting you, you're in its mind. Experts also add this: a significant portion of your bird remembering you, recognizing you, and trusting you happens at night. That is, while you're sound asleep. What about those last few minutes before your bird wakes up in the morning? That's a whole different story. And what that story leaves with you is something entirely different. 5. What happens before the morning light comes in? The first light of morning. You're in bed. The cage is covered. Most people think that a budgie just waits there until the cover is lifted. But this is one of the transitional moments when your bird is most active. Because budgies are sensitive to twilight, and they have very sensitive biological clocks. Researchers refer to this as crepuscular arousal, that is, waking up at twilight. When your budgie detects the light, it begins to prepare its body. Its body temperature starts to rise, so the bird is already awake, but you don't know it yet. You might also hear soft sounds for hours, light taps with the beak, which show it's waiting for you. It's actually calling out to you, "Good morning, are you there?" Studies also show that building social bonds during this waking process is very important. If possible, remove the cover at the same time every morning. This regulates the biological clock and positively affects stress levels. 6. The true meaning of the bird: waiting for you in the morning. When you lift the cover off the cage in the morning, the bird chirps toward you, starting to chirp. It just looks at you. Most people say this is normal. After all, it's morning, and it's normal for it to be active. But you need to know this. This is the most basic expression of a flock bond. Parakeets live in flocks in the wild. And after waking up this morning, he checks on his flock, so to speak. Are you here? Are we safe? In other words, your voice, your face, and your presence there are actually sending him a signal. The flock is here. Everything is going well. Yes, you heard that right. You are its flock. So every morning when it sees your face, those little chirps hopping around aren't just random things. It's its instinct directed toward you. In other words, your parakeet chooses you anew every morning. Yes, if you've made it this far, you're not just an ordinary parakeet owner. Why? Because most owners don't think about how their bird spends the night. It doesn't even cross their minds. But you did. You wanted to learn this on your own. Your parakeet is truly very lucky. And you too have learned a lot now. You know exactly what to do when your parakeet experiences nighttime fear. You know exactly what's going on before you lift the cover. That's why your bird is truly very lucky. See you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like.